Deep inside the human body is a continuous transportation network. The digestive tract relies on a steady, forward-moving momentum to break down food and absorb nutrients at precise anatomical checkpoints. To keep this biological assembly line moving, the system requires physical sweeping force. Natural dietary fiber acts as a broom, physically pushing material through the intestines to maintain a steady kinetic rhythm. Modern diets often disrupt this rhythm. Processed foods strip away natural fiber, removing the physical sweeping mechanism the intestines expect to receive. Without that physical push, the system loses its momentum. Food material slows down, stalls, and becomes trapped in the lower intestines far longer than biology intended. This animated diagram illustrates what happens inside that stalled environment. Here, in the cross-section of the intestine, trapped food begins to spoil and inappropriately ferment. As bacteria break down this stagnant material, they release a high volume of expanding gas bubbles. The trapped gas bubbles physically stretch the sensitive intestinal walls outward. This intense outward tension on the anatomy is the direct mechanical cause of heavy pressure and painful bloating. Common in digestion is a mechanical traffic jam. When the physical momentum of the gut fails, material stagnates, and the surrounding biology suffers the physical stress. The task of clearing this stagnation falls to a microscopic workforce. The gut microbiome is a complex, highly active layer made of trillions of bacteria lining the intestinal walls. This vector visualization maps how these bacteria operate. When we consume dietary fiber, diverse bacterial nodes ferment those particles. In response, they release an abundance of new active molecules known as short-chain fatty acids, primarily one called butyrate. Butyrate serves as direct cellular fuel. It locks directly into the structural grid of the intestinal wall, physically thickening and strengthening the protective barrier against incoming pathogens. When digestion stalls, a common reaction is to consume conventional antacids. These synthetic compounds are designed to quickly neutralize naturally occurring stomach acid. Stomach acid is necessary to break down proteins and trigger downstream digestion. Neutralizing it actively halts the digestive cascade, removing the body's natural chemical signals and worsening the systemic stall. Resolving digestive discomfort requires restarting the body's natural engine. Suppressing the chemical environment only ensures the traffic jam will return. Traditional botanical practices offer a biological method to restart the system. Specific whole food catalysts, like cumin, coriander, and fennel, contain active plant compounds that directly stimulate the digestive tract. Cumin initiates the sequence. It contains a highly active compound called cuminaldehyde. Cuminaldehyde acts as a chemical signal. It forces the liver to secrete bile and prompts the pancreas to release digestive enzymes, flushing the upper intestine with the necessary fluids to dissolve a stalled backlog of food. Coriander then takes on a regulatory role. This seed delivers a combination of an essential oil called linalool and a dense matrix of prebiotic fiber. This schematic diagram maps the resulting microbial interaction. Linalool acts as a targeted antimicrobial agent. It systematically isolates and deactivates harmful pathogen nodes, like E. coli, while leaving the surrounding healthy bacteria entirely untouched. In the space cleared of pathogens, the healthy bacteria consume the incoming prebiotic fiber from the coriander. They use this substrate to multiply rapidly, rebuilding a diverse microbial network. Fennel completes the biological sequence by protecting the infrastructure. It targets a specific inflammatory gut pathway, known as STAT1, and downregulates its signals. Downregulating the STAT1 pathway physically tightens the microscopic junctions between the cells of the gut lining. This repairs structural damage and actively soothes the intestinal tissue after a meal. Together, they clear chemical blockages, rebuild the microbial workforce, and repair the physical barrier. They provide the biological cues the digestive engine needs to run. When these mechanisms align, the digestive system returns to a state of continuous kinetic flow. Bile flows efficiently from the liver, beneficial bacteria thrive while pathogens are suppressed, and the intestinal wall maintains an impenetrable, fortified barrier. Because the microbiome shifts daily based on what we consume, this environment requires consistent biological input. The beneficial bacteria rely on a steady supply of whole food botanical compounds to sustain their activity. Masking temporary symptoms with suppressive chemicals ignores the underlying mechanical failure. The gut is a living ecosystem that requires active management, not chemical shutdowns. Integrating prebiotic botanicals into a daily routine provides that management. It continuously feeds the biological workforce, preventing mechanical stagnation long before food has a chance to stall. By supplying the specific compounds our internal ecosystem needs, we maintain the physical momentum of digestion, ensuring the system flows exactly as biology intended.